register. He's going to find his opportunity here in just a second as he gets all the
Like
money
they
out of the
always say,
register.
comply.
The
You know
guy
what I'm
put his
saying?
gun in
If
his
your life
left
is more
hand,
important to.
and
Oh
our
shit!
victim goes
Okay.
for it, and it is gone. And I love that he just goes after him with everything that he has here.
And he
doesn't
pouncing
hold
him,
anything
bruh.
back. You can see he actually
That's
has
crazy.
the guy's gun. He just transferred it into his right hand. The victim has the gun in his right hand right now as they are struggling and wrestling. And you can
Yo,
tell
I
this
would listen.
entangled.
Yeah. Whoa. YouTube, Town family, what's the biz? Y'all already know what it is, man. Positive vibes all days, all ways. Y'all know how I'm rocking. And you already know ain't nothing to it but to do it. So we about to jump right into it. I hope everybody doing well today, feeling well, looking well. I really do appreciate everybody for tuning in today. And real quick, if you haven't already, please hit that like, share, subscribe, and notification button so you can stay up to date with the latest and the greatest content. You dig? Anywho, without further ado, welcome to Todd-Town, baby.
This owner is behind the counter of the cell phone store here, and this customer is in here. And just another day at the store, right? He's showing him some
Another
phones,
day.
kind of showing him
Another
what
day,
different phones
another
do, all
dollar.
that stuff. Totally normal to this point until this guy pulls out a bag and then digs
Hey,
into
man,
his
he did
pocket
that
and
with
produces
cash.
a
That was
gun.
casual.
And now the armed robbery starts with him still on his phone. Now, I love that the owner here,
You can tell that
who
it's not
lives in
his first
Chicago,
time.
but isn't from there. He is Palestinian, and you know he keeps his cool.
Well, that makes sense of the calmness, right? Like, I mean, as smooth as he whipped his bag and his pistol out, the store owner was just as calm. And then you hear where he's from.
And he opens the bag and he's like, look, man, whatever you want. But he's still looking for his opportunity, and we're going to see it here in a little while. Now, one of the cool things that I notice is that this guy is just being cool and taking all the guy's
cleaning
stuff.
them out.
And he's like, hey, look, man, whatever you want. You want me to
That's
put the phones in the
crazy.
bag? You bet I'll put the phones in the bag. And when they get to the register, he's going to find his opportunity here in just a second as he gets all the
Like
money
they
out of the
always say,
register.
comply.
And
You
the
know
guy
what I'm
put his
saying?
gun in
If
his
your life
left
is more
hand,
important to.
and
Oh
our
shit!
victim goes
Okay.
for it, and it is
Oh.
gone. And I love that he just goes after him with everything that he has here.
And he
doesn't
pouncing
hold
him,
anything
bruh.
back. You can see he actually
That's
has
crazy.
the guy's gun. He just transferred it into his right hand. The victim has the gun in his right hand right now as they are struggling and wrestling. And you can
Yo,
tell
I
this
would listen.
entangled.
I would not recommend, you know, if you can help it, not to ever get in a tussle. And I get it, like, you know, a lot of people would say, you know, just give them what they want, just give them everything. And sometimes, man, you work hard enough and you build things from the ground up. It's not that easy, especially when you get into that flight or flight situation. So it's a lot easier said than done to tell, you know, the average person, hey, man, just give them what they want. And then listen, I say the same thing, but you never know what you're going to do, man. I respect the store owner, you know. They come out and work hard. They build from ground up. So you can only imagine what they go through. And on another note, he was so calm. That was probably about the fourth or fifth hit for him that week, man. That's ridiculous. I mean, but dang, man.
With poor
That's
footing on
crazy.
both their cases. And now, again, the victim has the bad guy's gun, and he put it in his left hand there, and now he's trying to get out of this guy's way. He's trying to get away from him. And the bad guy has him basically arms free and in a bear hug from the rear.
This is
kind of hard to
crazy.
see at this point, but looks to me like the victim actually got out of the store, and now there's a bit of a fight on, and now the bad guy's going to
hold
run
up.
back into the back office where he had the victim before. And now the victim comes back, makes sure that the gun is loaded, puts a magazine in it, and chambers around, and then gets on the phone, ostensibly with 911. I'm gonna about guarantee.
I'm a little confused because he says he get out the front of the door. It does look like the door seems to be right here in this corner, right here in this little area, right behind, you know, this gate. Maybe that's the security gate to get behind the counter over here or whatever or whatnot. But I mean, if you can get out the danger, get out the danger. You know what I mean? Don't stick around. But again, you know, a lot of people tend to want to fight for the things, but you know, it looked like both of them could have got free. Him running to the back of the store, that's kind of crazy. I don't.
Now, you're going to see him here, as we sped up just for time, walk back towards the door where this guy is going in, and he knows there's no exit from that door. And so then the guy comes back out, and now the owner has to run away from him a second time. He's already gotten away from him once, and he gets to the door, but now they have a fight again. He's not willing to let the guy out the door. He doesn't want him to get away. So with gun in hand, he goes right back after him.
See, listen, that's one thing that I would not recommend, bruh. Like, you know, you in a position to walk away. You know what I mean? And I give it to the store owner, because plenty times he had the upper hand on the, you know, on the robber. He had the upper hand plenty times, so you can tell it's not within him to cause harm. You know what I mean? I've just from the start of this, I've seen plenty of times where he had an opportunity to really, you know, end it and call it a day, but you could tell he not trying to cause no harm. I respect that. I don't know if it's me though.
You should avoid, even though our victim here has cell phone in one hand, gun in the other, and is still out grappling the armed robber. He's got him down. He's got, you know, knee on belly there, which I'm not sure if that's trained or not, but it's good technique, or at least decent technique. Keeps the gun away from him barely. Now, as the guy's trying to continue to
That's why I don't recommend no tussle, man.
Continue to fight, and imagine how much cardio it's taking both of them in this instance.
Right.
I think the good person probably more, because, you know, he's intent on saving his life, but probably not ready for this kind of thing.
You see that? Look at that. You could tell he don't want to hurt him. You could tell the man don't want to hurt him, bro. Look. Like, you can clearly tell he does not want to hurt this man.
He's intent on saving his life,
look,
but probably not ready for this kind of thing on a daily basis.
He's not trying to swing.
And then finally, the armed robber who has lost his gun and all that is finally going to get away, and we're going to see at the very end here, our good guy throw the gun into the store to keep it away from the bad guy, finally, as he chases him out of the store. Let's go back and learn a couple lessons out of this one as we're going to walk
I would not, listen, the store owner had plenty of times to get out of Dodge. I get it. That's your personal belongings. But at the end of the day, your life is much more important than, you know, the values. And I mean, keep it honest, I don't know, man. The robber, he looked like he need to find another job. I don't know. You know, dude was able to take him down. I mean, and it's probably because them big ass Timbs he got on. He came in there stumping on some Timbs. That should have been first red flag. But like they said in the beginning, he showed no red flags of any type of, you know what I mean, harm. So, you know, and you don't ever want to judge a book by its cover, but there's a lot of things that could have went differently in this situation. But I think the store owner evidently wanted to just probably protect his personal belongings and things like that.
I really think that there's not a whole lot of pre-attack indicators here. That this guy's not showing a bunch. You know, he's got a beanie on, but it's Chicago, it's cold or whatever. But now as he finally puts the bag on the table, that's weird. And now our first indicator really is that he's got a gun in his face. But he stays cool. He's looking for his opportunity here, and compliance is always a strategy. In fact, it's a strategy to just give the guy what he wants and hope for the best. If that's,
and it started out like that.
Skills and plan, that's probably your best strategy. I don't like being taken in the back at all, but it's okay. In this instance, it worked out for him. Now he's just complying and looking for an opportunity. And that if that opportunity didn't come, this guy just grabbed a bunch of phones and ran out the store. No problem. Let him have them.
Easy. And you know, that's what the average person.
We can see the bad guy there. He put some stuff in his pocket there. He's transferred the gun to his left hand, not his gun hand, but his support hand. So the owner decides in that moment that he's going to go for it. And you can see that he's taking that gun away, and you can see it right here as I stop it. You can see the victim's left hand is holding that gun. He's got it by the barrel and by the trigger guard. So he is taking it away from him, man. He practiced those 5Ds real fast, man. The deflect and the dominate, the distract with the punches, the disarm. Now it's time for the disable, and the easiest way to disable is to get out of the danger zone, because you can see here that the victim is having a hard time keeping the gun
man, he
away
put up a fight.
You
got to respect it, man.
The best way to do that, if you possibly
can, at the end of the day,
throw that gun as
the average person just going to give you what you want. You know what I'm saying?
If you cannot control it yourself and keep him away from it. And so that's what I think the victim's trying to do here, is just get himself out of the danger zone and get that gun and himself away, and he's able to do that here. I can't tell you enough. Best strategy at this point, if you broke contact, is to run away, call 911, tell him that.
Like I said, man, don't put yourself in a danger. You know what I mean?
I think this was a really bad idea here. I get it in the heat of the moment, but now the owner's like, yeah, I got your gun. What are you going to do now? You don't know what else that guy has on him, what threat that he continues to be. So even if you stay close by where you can track where he goes, don't go back into the danger zone.
Never.
And putting yourself
like I said, he had
real
plenty of
mistake,
opportunity
because what we're
to
gonna see again is as the victim gets close to the door, this guy comes back
to make
out
it
the
to
door
safety.
and
I mean, you know, it looked like
get
everything
away from him.
turned out all right for him.
If he's going to leave
but
with the stuff, let him leave with it, for gracious sakes. It's insured. You don't want to get back into this kind of fight. If you do choose to get back into this kind of fight, good grappling skills on the victim's
Hey man,
part.
like I say,
had a good throw
Robber
to the
needs to
ground,
find
good
another
knee
job.
on belly, good position here. You know, he's got a pretty good mount going here on this guy, but he's got his hands
the best
full,
of
one
them.
handful of cell phone, one handful of gun.
Chose the wrong one that day. I said, you could tell, listen, bro probably been through it a few times. That was probably they fourth, fifth time hitting him that week. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? But he was ready. I respect that, you know? I just think it's unfortunate
Put
that
the phone on speaker or whatever and get the cops there. But of course, the better thing to do in this instance is to stay out of the danger zone entirely. So as the victim kind of finally wins the fight enough that this guy gets out of here, let's remember that you gotta weather the storm. You gotta wait for your opportunity. When it's time, practice those
you
5
could
Ds.
you could tell you didn't want to hurt. He ain't got to
stay in the
do
danger
that.
zone. Instead,
Respect that, man.
get out of the danger zone as
Could have
fast as
popped,
you
buddy.
can to
I
cover
wonder
your
was
ass.
it anything in the chamber. Listen, it's unfortunate, you know, he has to go through that. But again, man, you know, the store owner had plenty of times to make it to safety, which he did ultimately at the end of the day. So we can't, you know, I can't fault him for fighting back. I don't know if the robber got away with anything. I don't think he got away with nothing, you know. So I guess the fight that was put up was worth it. I can't even, you know what I'm saying? I guess that was worth it, but I definitely wouldn't recommend putting yourself in that danger if you can make it to safety. The robber had the store owner had enough time, plenty of chances to get out the store, you know, and he made it back in. And I guess his deal was to try to trap him into the store so that the police can come and, you know, play. Listen, I get all that, man, but you know, play safe. Maybe you ain't got a family. You know what I mean? You probably think a little bit different when you got family and stuff like that. I imagine he does. Seems like a hard worker. So, man, again, man, and don't take, bruh. Man, go work, man. Go school or something. Go study. Go hustle. There's so many hustles out here, man. There's so many ways to get money. There's so many ways to do it the right way. I don't understand. Like I said, I've never, you know, put myself, you know, into those type of, and I've never been a robber. Like, that was one of the things, even in the past, you know, I mean, I did my thing in the past, but robbing was never one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was never a thing for me. That was not from family. I did some stuff like as a kid, you know what I mean? Like being young, you know, maybe under 10 type stuff. You know, I remember when I was with my brother and my cousins and, you know, we went to a store and it was I don't know if y'all remember them little drop pop things that you can just put a cap on and drop it. I wanted one of those so bad, man, because I used to love like cap guns and all that stuff. And I wanted one so bad. And I think at the time, them things was probably like for $5 or something like that, $5 more than what they was probably getting $1, $2 items. And again, I was with my brother and he was the one doing the buying. And so he didn't want to buy it from me. And so, you know, on their way out the store, I decided I was going to take it. First time, I was just like, man, forget that. You know what I mean? I'm going to get this. And so I took it and literally I took it, started running. And the funny thing is the store owner was the same ethnicity as, you know, the one we just watched here. That's what's crazy. And he was running after me. Like, man, I look back, I was gone, running. And my brother and them like, what the, you know, they ahead because I waited till they left. I waited till they left out the store before I did it, just so they wouldn't stop me because I knew I had to have it. I was going to get it. So when I took off running, man, that man was on our heels, but I got away because at the end of the day, you know, he can't run too far from the store. He can't run too far from his own, you know, project. So that feeling, though, when I got away was like a rush. You know what I'm saying? It was like, dang, I did it. And I probably stole maybe a few more times after that, but I knew even then that wasn't in me. Like at some point it got to a, you know, I'm like, nah, that's not for me. Like stealing ain't for me. So like I said, man, I stole maybe a few things, you know, when I was young, like real young, like, you know, like, but as I grew older, I just, that wasn't my way to get it. Like I ain't had no problem working. I ain't had no problem hustling, doing what I had to do, you know, and that's what I probably more so than anything just, you know, want to put out there, man. Don't like think about the consequences of just not doing the right thing, because you can do the right thing and still have all the things that you want. And I know that sounds, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean? But you'll put yourself in a position where you risk it, right? So you may get whatever it is that for that moment, but I promise you it ain't gonna last. So, anywho, you know, hey man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in to Todd-Town. I appreciate my team. I appreciate production. And yeah, man. And you know what I always say at the end of the day, man, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Peace. Yeah, whoa.